Once out of nature, I shall never take my bodily form from any natural thing. But such a form as Grecian goldsmiths make, of hammered gold and gold enameling, to keep a drowsy emperor awake, or set upon a golden bough to sing to lords and ladies of Byzantium of what is past or passing or to come.
Hey, V. Happy to see me?
Not exactly. Blacked out, then woke up here. I miss anything?
Rogue's dead. Smasher was there.
I'm sorry.
Shouldn't be. Died for me, not for you.
Is my body still in one piece?
Parked it in Arasaka Tower's basement, plugged it into the network.
Figured as much. Your output's been torturing my brain with Soul Killer for a good while now.
You'll be alright. I mean, look, you made it this far.
Awareness of what's happening right now. That just raunches. Like, Alt neatly packed me into an engram. Couldn't even tell when. Or how.
So what do you think? Like being a clump of ones and zeros?
At first, the phantom pain. Jesus. Felt like my whole body was on fire. Realize now it's not pain at all. It's just some digital simulacrum. Guess Alt's gonna start moving this digital psyche I am back into my flesh, but got no idea if I'll survive or what I'll be if I do.
Soul Killer, we can't feel it doing its thing. How come? Should be pissing our panties in pain right now.
Digital analgesia, where data streams, certain sensations, inputs can be blocked, blah blah blah, yada yada.
Alt make you suffer through an exhaustive lecture?
Imparted it instantly. Whatever. She did say she'd destroy Mikoshi, just as you agreed. Gonna release all those poor bastards, only suck them into her own bosom. Make them part of herself.
So we at the finish line? It's all in Alt's hands now?
No.
What the? Alt?
I made a mistake in excluding the body as a factor. DNA reconfiguration has progressed too far. Added to aggressive, invasive medications, the body's immune system attacking its own neurons.
Spit it out! In human terms!
V will die independent of what I do. This is inevitable. This is imminent.
Check again. If V's engram is damaged, can't you fix him?
Hardware. Therein lies the problem. The organism's neurons have been dying for a time. Any attempt at a procedure upon its brain would result in the latter's death.
You're a fucking genius! Think of something!
Enough, Johnny! Shut up! I need to think.
Gonna be alright, V. We'll think
I said, give me 1 fucking minute.
Alt, come on. There's gotta be a way out of
The
this.
biochip has irreversibly changed the host organism. It no longer belongs to V, who is an intruder there. The situation is different for you. All changes were made to accommodate you.
Hang on. Telling your ex to kick me out of my own body?
The changes are irreversible. You have nothing left to lose. He has everything to gain. I will not interfere in your personal affairs, but while Johnny has full control, he can do what he wishes.
Alt, give us a...
What the hell for? So he can trick me into agreeing? Giving you a free pass, even though you can already do what you want with my body?
You're my friend, V. I'd never pull that on you. Never do you wrong.
Seeing as how I'm doomed to die, we stick to the plan I gave you. I leave. You stay. Keys to my body are yours.
No. It's gonna be me.
You lying sack of shit.
So what do I do, Alt?
Simply cross the bridge. You will become a part of me, as V's body and former life are restored.
Johnny. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, easy. I think too big a dose of Silverhand wound up in my blood. Need to chill. Listen. If I had to choose who to hole up with on a desert island, it wouldn't be you. Ever. Hell, the whole cast of Little Big Corporal Rats would have you beat. 'Cause you're a dickhead. In a big way. And sure, plenty of others out there are more deserving of life. But even so, I'd never wish you dead. Just promise me one thing, asshole. You won't forget me.
City. Drag your asses out of your sad sack and turn to face the sky. Today and today only, you might catch a glimpse of the Crystal Palace, that big-ass space station in which you mere mortals will never set foot. Now, they say the Crystal Palace has the most expensive casinos, the most beautiful women, and some damn breathtaking views, but that's what they say about Night City. Heaven on earth, heaven in orbit. What's the difference to scum-eating dirt sniffers like us? One thing, though, better find yourselves a nice high hill to go palace gazing. Yet, sorry, you denizens of Night City's lower reaches. Life has screwed you over yet again.
Good morning, V. I trust you had a restful night.
Mm-hmm.
You have no new messages. You have one meeting planned today, at the Afterlife. Delamain has confirmed a vehicle arrival at the arranged time. I've noticed your calendar is empty for what remains of the month. Would you like me to begin planning?
No, thanks. That's as it should be.
Perfect. Have a nice day.
Hey, boss.
Hey, you there yet?
Not yet. He'll be on time, though. His people came to scan the place earlier. Check and make sure everything's clean before he arrived. Thought we didn't notice him.
And the gear?
All set with the heat. Rest, too. Full tank, ready to launch.
Thanks. Be there soon.
Good morning, V. Where shall we zip off to today?
The Afterlife. Head over there.
Absolutely. We'll be taking those special air corridors. Excited as I am. So we should make good time.
Awesome.
My, you look knackered. Hard night?
Difficult few weeks.
Golly, I'm sorry to hear that. Your incursion into Arasaka Tower has given you all. Respect, unlimited resources. Now for physical ailments. If it helps, I can offer additional services and spa treatments and whatnot. That may be just the thing for your current condition. In fact, I've teamed up with Trauma Team to provide a medical care package. Limited time offer. Safe travels, I call it. You could try it now. What do you say?
As to any medical aid, a day late and an eddy short for that.
I'm afraid I don't understand. But you've unlimited resources at your disposal. I'm certain we can find something appropriate and thoroughly satisfying.
Don't worry about it.
Have it your way.
How's the sitch in the city?
Arasaka's in a right pickle. An organizational shambles. Its share price has tanked. Public mistrust is at an all-time high. I could go on. Secure Your Soul was to be a mammoth success for Arasaka. It turned into a mammoth curse. They lost all resources related to the program.
Mm-hmm. Promised the rich immortality. Sold them on it. Actually collected engrams and knowledge. A bid for control. For power, I say. And the street? What's the street saying?
Rumors about, naturally. You're onto something huge with someone even huger backing you. Their resources yet more huge. Nothing much besides. Arasaka's a mess, trying to rein in the chaos. At any rate, you, the Afterlife, you're safe. For some time anyway.
Preem. Just preem.
Here we are. Have a nice day, V. Have a nice day, V.
Hey! You there! Yes, I'm talking. tube, rusty water from the tap, another murder outside your bedroom window. But what if you could leave all that behind? Far, far behind when you begin your journey to the final frontier. Send the word SPACE to 7299 for a chance to win a one-week getaway for two at the Crystal Palace.
Boss?
Hey, we good?
Perfect. Your box is ready and waiting.
Hey, V. Get you something?
My usual.
Sure thing. People can tell something's up. Won't be able to keep it under wraps much longer.
Won't have to. Takeoff's today.
Today?
Is that a problem?
No, just... In that case, you're gonna need something special. Rogue had this little ritual. Before any big op, she'd knock back a shot of tequila. Silverhand's preferred. Asked her once if it was for luck or whatever. Know what she said? Said it was about remembering. Said that remembering Johnny that way helped her focus on what was important. Anyways, Afterlife tradition. Gonna mix you up one of our specials. Just tell me who we're drinking to.
Mix me up a Wells. Gonna drink to Jackie.
Miss him, don't you?
This place is Jack's dream, you know? Afterlife legends. That's what we were gonna be.
Well, then you made his dream come true. Good luck, V.
Hey, boss.
Put you back together beautifully. Brand shiny new Wayland.
Yeah, somehow. Anyway, I had enough of sitting on my ass in the clinic. Feel much better here.
Where you can tell everyone about your Arasaka Tower heroics.
You know it. But what you plan to do today, V? I mean, respect. Nothing else will ever come close. Take good care of yourself. And good luck.
Thanks.
I've long awaited this moment, to look the latest Afterlife legend in the eye. I must say, I'm moved.
Happy not to disappoint.
Sit.
Talk to me.
Well, V, Mikoshi was quite the punch. You TKO'd Arasaka, in fact. Brought you eddies, influence around town. But not just that. It meant positive paralysis of Arasaka's systems. A few additional hatches opened up, my people rushed in, grabbed what they could.
So it's all systems go for the op.
I have confirmed the intel leaking out of Arasaka. The casino is currently testing a new security system. And it's true. They will be shutting it down briefly today. I believe you'll know how to use that moment.
Won't be disappointed. Pick the best merc around for the job.
So I've heard. But I'd like it proved to me as well. Speaking of which, nobody's ever pulled off a stunt like this. Where I'm from, they'd say it's straight impossible. They'd say you're taking too big a risk. Poetically speaking, flying towards the sun to burn up.
They'd be dead wrong. All of them.
Self-confidence worthy of a legend. Or of someone risking it all. But I sense you know what it's like to lose everything. To fight for one last breath. I see it in you.
This time tomorrow, should have the casino's client data. All of it. Don't forget your side of the bargain.
Oh, I never forget a promise. Good luck.
Right. In position.
Perfect. Almost to the second. My turn. Satellites are down for now. Just got the signal. Signature cloaking activated. Remember, got one shot and one shot only.
Yeah, tell me something I don't know.
Soon as it starts, there'll be no backing down. No chance at extraction. No chance of survival if anyone notices.
Excellent.
But if this works, you'll gain more than you ever imagined.
Times when I had something to gain are long gone. Now I got nothing to lose.
That's kinda grim. Then again, who am I to judge?
Okay, here goes nothing.
Good luck. See you down bottom.
Over and out.
Okay, guys, so as you probably have seen, this is going to be the final video for Cyberpunk 2077. I recently just gotten the Sun ending. I did try to do the secret ending for Johnny Silverhand, where we decided to attack Arasaka Tower by ourselves. Unfortunately, I couldn't really trigger the cutscene for that. I guess I didn't have a high enough affinity or chosen the right dialogue for Johnny Silverhand, so unfortunately I couldn't do that, but at least I could do the Sun ending at least to get that secret ending. And overall though, I think all the endings are pretty good except for Arasaka, and of course the darkest of all, the one where you commit suicide. And that one's probably the darkest ending, to say the least, especially, you know, when you listen to the outcomes of what your friends think about that outcome. Is very depressing. Arasaka is definitely probably the worst ending you can get in this entire game, because not only you lose Johnny Silverhand, but you in other words, you get screwed over, and the big bad guys essentially wins. Arasaka literally wins in that ending, and big corporation winning like that is definitely not a good thing. But personally, I think the best ending for this game will have to be either Nomad or the Sun ending. I think those are the two better endings you can get in this game. Phantom Liberty, I think there are two different endings for it, but for me to do the second ending for Phantom Liberty, I have to start pretty much to the point where I either backstab a Songbird Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was the point. Yeah, I had to backstab her, and that's like ways back in the saves, and I don't plan on doing that. Unfortunately, that is just going to take a lot of time and effort, and I just simply don't got the time to cover more Cyberpunk. So if you guys want to see, that alternate ending, you're gonna have to look up YouTube on that. So the ending that I did for this playthrough is going to be pretty much just that. The one the one I chose, helping out Songbird, sending up to the moon. That's going to be my canon ending. But you want to see the other ending, you're going to have to see other people's playthrough on that one. Because, like I said, I just don't got the time for Cyberpunk right now. I just want to get this playthrough sorted out, get it done, and move on to the next game. And now that we have, beaten the game, let's talk about, my overall dots on Cyberpunk 2077. What I like, what I didn't like, and what I can hope for the future for the sequel of this game. Because I know they are making a sequel for this game. So, well, first off, of course, let's talk about the bad. The bad, this game launched horrible. It launched so bad to the point I have to wait 5 years to play this game again. And yes, this game is this old. It came out back in 2020, and then yeah, it was just probably the buggiest game that I've ever played. It's even worse on consoles. Like the PS4 was unplayable to the point they had to remove it from the PlayStation Store. It was just a horrible game at launch. A lot of missing game features, a lot of promises that was just straight up missing from like the trailers that they're showing, the E3 trailers or the gameplay trailer, and the fact that they lied too, that this game is perfectly playable on consoles, old generation consoles specifically, like the Xbox One and the PS4. Big ass lie on that part. And it's just the marketing for this game, it was just overhyped, and the game released and it underdelivered. Like it just did not exceed the expectation that a lot of people hoping it would have. Like, especially coming from from a team of developers that are known to work on great games like The Witcher 3 specifically, and then for them to fumble the release of this game so bad, like, god damn. I remember when they released the teaser for this trailer. I think it was back in I think it's gotta be like at least 2018, 2017. The first CGI teaser trailer show with the with the girl with the mantis blade in the alley. The quote, the famous quote was, "It'll come out when it's ready," and that was a big lie because they released this game and it was definitely not ready. Like I said, I think I could have beaten the game, but because my experience with the game was, it just wasn't that great. Like the game was glitchy, it didn't run the best. The story sure was pretty decent, but the gameplay stuff and the amount of bugs the game had, it kind of turned off the game for me to the point I just let them fix up the game, before I started playing it again. And 5 years later, babe, guess what? I'm back at the game, beating the game, went through the multiple endings for the main storyline, and have a lot of great time. I just wish the game would have released, it would have released, like that, rather than what we got back in 2020. So I'm glad that Cyberpunk 2077 had a huge huge turnaround, but it shouldn't happen like that. It shouldn't be that way. Now, if Cyberpunk would have come out last year with all this stuff in it, I think the game would have been much better received. We might even gotten 2 expansion packs instead of 1 expansion pack, because I'll be honest, Phantom Liberty is probably one of the best things about this game, and I will talk about that in the good section for Cyberpunk 2077. But listen, what else things I could say that I did not like about this game? I think some of Most of the side missions in this game, most of the gigs are a little bit too repetitive. Most of them you either have to infiltrate, do certain things, and then you don't get spotted, you get bonus stuff, bonus rewards. It's mainly all the gigs in this mission, like you do for the fixers, are literally almost the same thing. Like some of them you do get some that is a little bit, interesting and different, but most of the time you're going to be doing the same crap. Going in, getting out, take some stuff, don't get spotted. Kill a HVT, all that kind of stuff. Like some of them, most of them don't really offer too much of a variety, and that's why I'm like, most of the gigs are not worth it. But it is still recommended that you do the gigs because that's the easiest way to level up, to get the most money. You use that money to buy better gear, weapons, upgrade your stuff, etc. And like I said, some of them do have actual storyline arcs into it, and but most of the time when you're doing missions for the fixers, it's just it's kind of boring. But I have to say that the side missions are, well, as I'm not down putting it good, is pretty damn top notch, especially for the companion characters that you do find in the game. But yeah, I think most of the gigs are kind of eh. The exploration as well is also not the greatest too. And I know that the game, you have to rely on map markers to find certain things and all that stuff, but I think the fast travel, stuff should be like at least faded out so that we have to go to them to unlock it. But since you can kind of fast travel almost anyway, it kind of defeats the purpose of exploration. And the exploration in this game, I think it's kind of hit or miss. Like I guess it wouldn't be bad, but the exploration in this game could have been done better, I'll say. But I'll probably explain more of that in part of the goods. And not a bad thing, like I said before, performance. This game does not run the best. Like even with all the big updates and all that stuff, you cannot run this game without frame generation, or at least cranking everything down to at least medium to low or medium to high, because this game is so extremely demanding. Like even with all the upscale stuff, it's so pretty demanding. But yeah, for my opinion, I think frame generation is probably the best way to play this game smoothly, but obviously you could do compromises as well as using FSR or DLSS to like ultra performance or performance. But even so, it still doesn't run the best. And without frame generation, this game absolutely runs like ass. But like I said, this game is definitely very much playable. If you tweak the settings here and there, medium to high at least, you should be able to run the game just fine, as well as using FSR 3 upscale as well. That should help you gain a lot more frames. But yeah, performance was a big issue. But when this game came out for the first time, it was horrible, absolutely horrible. I can still barely play it, but there are certain areas in the city I just can't run with decent frames. It gets sluggish and slow, and when I get into combat, that gets affected by the frame rate greatly as well. And I kind of, like I said, I'm kind of glad that someone tried to make the game run better. But if you have a lower end system, I wouldn't recommend playing this game because it is extremely demanding. At least have a decent rig to run this game. But if you run anything lower than a 10 series or 900 series, yeah, I wish you the best of luck. And also some of the scripting too in certain quest lines, they do get glitched up pretty badly, and it happens quite a bit to the point I have to restart from the last checkpoint. So maybe if they clean up with the scripting handling stuff, events better in the future games, I think it'll be a better experience. Because there are a lot of moments in this game where things get stuck, or the NPC gets stuck in certain areas and they can't go forward, and the whole quest line just breaks. And that's what really gets on my nerves, is getting my time wasted on quest lines that are just broken. So hopefully they get this sorted out with the Cyberpunk sequel as well as Witcher 4, because we don't want things to get stuck. We want to have the game to flow better, all that stuff. But that's just the way it is. And also the excessive loot that you get in this game that has no value at all is very irritating as well. And then the fact that wave a lot too. And you get so much loot in this game, like it gets absolutely ridiculous. Like I get it, the game is designed that way, where you have to craft, break down weapons to get more crafting materials and all that stuff. I get it, but I just don't find this fun, navigating to all these different gears and weapons just to break down or sell. It's just way too much loot. They need to make it a little bit more streamlined. But that's just a minor critique, though. It's not a big issue, but it is a little bit irritating that you get, some of the same things, and then it just keeps piling up your inventory until you get over encumbered. But I get it that the game was designed like this, where you got different tier weapons, armor, and gear. Like right now, I'm rocking all legendary stuff right now. But you get like the pink, purple, and all that stuff, even with the cyberware stuff as well. But like I said, overall though, I think it could have done better with the open world exploration. The game could have launched a lot better without a lot of the missing features that they have promised. The game could have run better. Some of the critical, events for like a lot of the side missions and some main missions could break. And the excessive loot that you get in this game is ridiculous. Like, look at it. Here's the thing. I don't mind getting a lot of loot, but there's a lot of things that are just like they're literally useless. Like, there's only few stuff that actually gives you like actual stat, like the one I have right here, the helmet, 25 plus armor, another 25 plus armor, and I got chemical resistance, and that's it. You don't really get much of a benefit wearing different gear and clothes besides specific pants, face masks, helmets, and armor. You just don't get that much options. So if they do make a sequel for this game, I really hope that they give you reason to wear a lot of this new equipment. They gotta have some sort of stat boost or something. But time will tell whenever that happens. Hopefully they actually take the time making the new Cyberpunk game as well as Witcher 4, because the last thing they want is another disaster like Cyberpunk 2077. But right, I think that's all the bad stuff I can think of, really. Yeah, I forgot to mention the gigs. The most of those mentioned were really repetitive. So I wish some of them would spice some things up, actually have some storyline arcs into it, and some of them do, but not all of them. So that's my also big critique too, is the exploration, the gigs, side missions are just not exciting. For me, I only did them all because I wanted 100, at least almost 100% in the game, and as you can see here, I pretty much, matter of fact, did 100% of the game. I found all the terrorists, I did all the fixer stuff. As you see here, got all that done, even the DLC here for Phantom Liberties for Mr. Hands. So, did all the gigs, but even so, a lot of those missions are just repetitive. It's just mostly revolving doing the same thing. I wish they had some story arc lines to it. I think the only one that kind of has that is probably the Regina Jones one. I think that one probably had the most interesting missions to do, and Mr. Hands too, as well. But everybody else kind of, I kind of don't care. But yeah. Yeah, so let's talk about what I really like about this game. Obviously, the whole world that this game evolves around, Night City. I think that's probably the best thing about this game, of how, even though it is a pretty small game, if you think about it, it's small, but it is pretty dense. And just the amount of detail that they put into like these different districts. Like the game does feel very alive when you actually just take if you walk around in the streets of Night City and just observe, your surrounding. The game does feel very alive, and they did a really good job with that. Like, you even got something like the ads playing in the background, news that is reporting on, based on the last thing you did on your main missions. Like, the game does feel very alive. You got a lot of people, NPCs talking about different things, gossips, all that cool things. Like, the city does feel very alive, and it looks gorgeous too, especially when you crank everything up in this game with ray tracing or path tracing on. This game looks fucking stunning, and I can't imagine this game will still be the game to test everybody's PC in the future and so forth, because of how demanding this game is. I'm pretty sure in the next 5-10 years we'll probably have a graphics card that will be able to run this game without upscales and frame generation. I'm 100% sure we'll get to that point. But But yeah, the world itself is pretty good. Oh yeah, let's talk about the story and the character. I really like a lot of the characters that you meet in here, as well as the character you play as, V, and of course Johnny Silverhand being played by, of course, the iconic Keanu Reeves. And I'm glad that they got Keanu Reeves in this game as Johnny Silverhand, because I don't think nobody else would have done a better job to play Johnny Silverhand other than Keanu Reeves. And Keanu Reeves knocked it out of the park in this one. And this is also, in fact, probably his first big video game project as well. So I'm hoping to see Keanu Reeves be interested in more video game projects, and maybe we'll see him more in video games, hopefully, because I think Keanu Reeves did a pretty good job, playing as the character Johnny Silverhand. Like, his character, he's pretty much a second protagonist. He's pretty much going to be with you there the whole time, essentially. So he is pretty much the second main character. And the choices you make is also going to affect pretty much his thought about you and your relationship with you as well. So I guess do the best you can to be nice to him, I guess. What he likes to hear. That's my advice. But it is a role-playing game, so you can play this game however you goddamn want. But the character you play as V definitely is definitely a main character that's going to have a tragic ending, regardless of which ending you're going to choose. Like, V is going to be destined to die eventually, and it depends on what role you pick, for V, because you get to pick, be as a corporal, nomad, street kids. There might be a fourth option, I can't remember, but all those choices definitely is going to play a huge effect on how your character V is going to be. And it could vary, quite drastically. Like me, I choose the nomad style. That's for my V, and that's the reason why I did the Pan Am ending for it, because that's, he's a nomad away, so he decided to call Pan Am for help, to assault Arasaka Tower. So, in my opinion, that is the best ending for my V, the Nomad V. But it could be a good ending for the other different playstyle as well. But personally, I think that will probably be the best ending. But yeah, let's talk about what's other good thing about this game. The hacking system in this game, and the gunplay and the movement in this game is pretty damn good. I ain't gonna lie. When your game is running good, the gunplay feels snappy. It feels very responsive, and then the ability to use all these different hacks to like cripple your enemies or turn the turrets against them. It brings a lot of variety to the gameplay, and I think that's the reason why I kept playing through the game despite playing those repetitive side missions for the gigs. It's because the gameplay itself is really good, and I ain't gonna lie about it. It's pretty goddamn badass, especially with the different build you do. Like, you do like an all melee build. You can get like the mono wire and start whipping them to pieces with it, or use a gorilla arm and then smack them across the goddamn map. Like, the gameplay style here, that's is what really shines in the game, and especially with the amount of builds you can do. And that's why I think this game, it's probably there's a lot of reason why people still play it. So it's because the gameplay is really good. Like, they're down out of the park with the amount of different weapons you use, the different gadgets, the attachments, the grenades. Like, it's just so many options. Like, it's almost too much to choose. But the cyberware will probably be the biggest thing that's going to affect your gameplay altogether, because that's going to have like certain things that will increase your stats on certain things. So it really depends on what kind of character you want to build. Like I said, you can build a character that is dedicated for just only shotguns, light machine gun, blunt weapons, or a melee only build, or you can even do an all hacking build too. You can play this game, do the whole game without firing a single gun, almost, because there'll probably be some certain points you are going to have to fight back. So yeah, that's the thing I really like about this game, is that you can go absolutely crazy with the amount of builds you want to do. You want to be a fast guy with a submachine gun and pistols and a katana, you can do that. Want to be a heavy hitter with a light machine gun, blunt weapons, you can do that. Like, this game allows you to do almost all that thing. On top of that, all this stuff does affect, if you can open certain doors or get through certain dialogue as well. So it's always important to get, some of these things up, and you might, be able to resolve, certain situation, without killing nobody. But yeah, the whole cyberware system and all the different perks you can get, as you can see here, is absolutely, amazing. Like I said, you can do all kinds of crazy different builds in this game, and you can start a new game and you will never play the same build ever again. Like, that's how diverse, this whole perk system is, as well as the amount of builds you can do. And I think that's, like I said, I think that's the biggest kudos and the biggest win is the gameplay is good. But not only that, the story is actually pretty good. For the main storyline, as well as some of the side missions you do as well, are really fantastic. Like I said, the gig missions, they're kind of but the side missions you do for, certain, NPCs that you go to meet a lot are really well done. And they also have a choice matter situation where you can effectively resolve the situation peacefully, or you can absolutely fuck it up altogether, and then that character won't have a worse outcome than they had originally. So I do like that the choices do matter quite a bit when you do this type of missions, and then you see the impact and the aftermath after that, after all that stuff. And I wish more games would do that, where you make choices that really do have consequences and actually does make a difference on that NPC life, and particularly you run and you play through as well. It could affect you as well. And there's not many games that does that nowadays. Everything's kind of a little bit safe. Even this game is kind of safe on that, but on some aspects, but it really shows you the impact of the aftermath of what happened when you made that certain decision. You see what happened to that character in my but yeah, I would say the storyline is really good. Even the main story, I think, is pretty damn good. But most importantly, I think the best thing about this game is Phantom Liberty. I think Phantom Liberty will have to be one of the best thing about Cyberpunk. And if you ever get the chance to play this mission to the expansion, I recommend you do it ASAP, because Phantom Liberty is absolutely peak. This is one of those moments that it is absolute cinema, especially when you get to the finale of Phantom Liberty. Shit gets batshit crazy, and the impact too, in the aftermath of that whole expansion is pretty damn crazy. Like this main story is good, but if Phantom Liberty had the same ending effect like the main game did, I think the main story would have been great. But because of that, it didn't have that effect. The main stories are good. They're really good, but nothing beats Phantom Liberty. I think Phantom Liberty is a masterpiece, chef's kiss. Like, it's that good. Go check it out if you guys can, because it's definitely one of the best expansion, especially with the story surrounding it and the characters that you meet and the hard choices that you might have to make in that expansion pack. It definitely leaves a big impact into you, more so than the main story stuff. But yeah, I think Phantom Liberty is definitely one of the best things to happen for the game. I think that's probably one of the reasons why Cyberpunk did so well, because the expansion was good. Not only that, you got the anime show that came on Netflix called Edge Runners, which, yes, I still need to see it. Haven't watched it yet. I know I'm missing out. I know, but bear with me. I will watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners eventually, because from what that little small clip I saw in like one of the things I found, that little small bits of stuff from the anime, I was like, holy shit, that's some badass shit. Especially when they activate the sound of run, that ability where you move everything slow motion, seeing that effect, in hand drawn mode, and seeing that stuff hand drawn in anime, form is, like I say, it's pretty damn badass. So I'm definitely looking forward to see checking out Cyberpunk Edge Runners, because there are a few things that I did found in this game that is, Edge Runner, like Rebecca's shotgun, David's jacket, and I think you might be able to run into some of the NPCs in this game too if you look hard enough, but they're mostly there as a cameo Easter egg. Like, you're not going to be able to talk to them, but they're all there. But But yeah, I would say the story is pretty good. The whole atmosphere and the world of Cyberpunk is really good. Definitely maybe Blade Runner inspired, but also being, its own original thing. And that's one thing I kind of like about Cyberpunk is that you definitely see a lot of inspiration from other 80s, to 90s Cyberpunk movies, especially Blade Runner. But it also managed to take its own spin and make it its own thing. And I think they did a pretty good job. The acting, for the most part, is absolutely fantastic. Like I said, the performance from V, Keanu Reeves, and Pan Am, all those other characters, they did an absolutely fantastic job when it comes to the acting. And like I said, some of the storylines and the side missions can get pretty damn dark. And then you really see, some of these actors have some pretty good range, from being happy to, angry, sad. Like I said, they did a really fantastic job on this, on the acting. The motion capture too is pretty good. But like I said, I think the biggest benefit, the biggest pro in this game will have to be the gameplay and the world of Cyberpunk within it, because it just looks so beautiful. It actually makes you, like you're actually walking around the city, like you feel very immersed into it. But most importantly, the gameplay was really good and the main story was good, as well as Phantom Liberty, plus the inclusion of Keanu Reeves, and let's not forget Idris Elba as well as Reed for Cyberpunk, for Phantom Liberty. So having the two big movie stars into this game, plus good writing, you can create something very special and very nice. But yeah, I think that's all I got to say about Cyberpunk. I don't want to drag on this video for too long, so why do I wait for Cyberpunk 2077? I'll probably wait it for when it came out for the first time. I'll probably give it to like a 6 to a 7 rating, but in its current state, I'll give it a 9. Actually, probably 8.75. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I don't want to rant on too long. Check this game out when it goes a hard sale, and I wish for the best of luck for CD Projekt Red on the latest project. And other than that, guys, I'm gonna end the video here for now. And if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you guys didn't, then hit the dislike button. It's all up to you. And this is going to be the conclusion of the Cyberpunk 2077 playthrough. I'm really hoping you guys enjoyed the whole playthrough as a whole, because I had a lot of blast playing this game. A lot of frustrating moments, but also a lot of good as well. So I can safe to say this is a good game to play. Check it out when it goes hard on sale, and you might not be disappointed. But on that, guys, I got nothing else to say about 2077. 8.75. That's my final rating for this game. So other than that, guys, until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.
We had to pay the price.